We're still chewing over a lot of the awesome news that we got in June, but there's also a whole new month's worth of new games, updates, and events to dig into for July. So hope you've left some room. Here's what's going down over the next few weeks.
We'll start off with a bit of general news. The EA Play live showcase will be taking place on the 22nd of July. The pre-show will be live from 6 PM UK time and will be hosted by avid gamer and WWE superstar Austin Creed, so expect there to be plenty of charisma to go around. We have no clue what exactly will be on show, but between EA's stable of stellar sports titles, Apex Legends, Battlefield, and whatever BioWare has cooking up, we're sure they've got plenty ready and waiting to dazzle us all.
Arriving on July 16th, Space Jam: A New Legacy is set to be one of the cinematic events of the summer, especially for 90s kids craving another dose of toon-addled basketball action. The fact that they made 10 episodes of The Last Dance on Netflix and didn't interview Tweety Pie once really was an insult. I took that personally. But have no fear, because not only are we getting a brand new movie to carry on that cartoon legacy, but we're also getting an old school beat 'em up game to tie it in with. The free-to-play game will arrive on July 15th, although Game Pass Ultimate members will find it in the perks gallery from the very start of the month. Because the prospect of beating up cartoons as LeBron James really cannot wait. And to help you on that quest, you'll be able to pick up a vibrant new Toon Squad controller decked out in Bug's favourite shade of carrot orange. Now then, let's move on to other Xbox games you'll be able to play in July.
F1 2021 looks like it'll be taking things up a gear this year with a host of cool new features and adjustments. Breaking Point adds a dramatic new single-player experience where you get to take a rookie racer up to the very top of the sport, while you'll also be able to play a two-player career if you want to throw a little friendly rivalry into the mix. There's going to be more customization options than ever before, and you'll really be able to enjoy them on the Xbox Series X and S, where the game is packing ray trace replays, 120 FPS modes, and more optimizations to ensure that the next-gen version of F1 2021 is truly top of the line.
The psychological horror game Observer first became a hit back in 2017, thanks to its winding story, creepy atmosphere, and the spine-tingling charisma of Rutger Hauer. An upgraded and expanded version was then released for the Series X and S, offering players even more nightmare fuel in even better definition. Because gamers are sort of a masochistic lot, turns out. And from July 16th, Xbox One players will also be able to get the full Observer System Redux experience, complete with all the mind-hacking detective work, broody noir vibes, and carelessly misplaced heads you could hope for.
Death's Door is a fantasy adventure game where you, a small crow, have been tasked with bringing death back to a strange realm where immortality has allowed certain creatures to swell up into giant, all-consuming monsters. So it's up to you to get things dying again, although you will also have the chance to plant the seeds for new life to grow as well, which brightens things up a smidge. Acid Nerve have a track record for delivering seriously challenging games, so Death's Door is one to keep an eye on for anyone looking to test their mettle.
Xbox Game Pass's next day one title is Cris Tales, a time-shifting RPG where the screen is split into 3 sections representing the past, present, and future. Your squad has the ability to transport enemies between the 3 phases, letting you gain a tactical advantage over them if you know how to use it. And the really cool thing is that this time-splitting mechanic extends outside of the battles as well, allowing you to see the 3 different versions of Cris Tales' vibrant world as you walk through it. It's a really ambitious design choice which could go horribly wrong, but I'm looking at the right side of the screen now and no, it seems everything turned out fine.
John, Mina, and Donna are regular London people, leading regular London lives until a supernatural event draws these 3 perfect strangers into a perfectly strange story. From the creators of Virginia and published by the always interesting Annapurna Interactive, Last Stop will see you guiding each character through their everyday lives before sucking them into an eerie sci-fi tale filled with danger, mystery, romance, and people getting bonked on the head with steel pipes. All the important stuff. The end result blends the everyday drama of long shifts, bad bosses, and health problems, along with its spookier aspects, which might just make for one of the year's most gripping narrative games.
Sometimes you want a story filled with intrigue, emotion, and profound ideas. Other times, you just want a game whose entire premise can be summed up in 3 words, like orcs must die. The third game in the fantastical tower defense series once again sees you helping a young war mage shield themselves against an invading horde of orcs. Although simple doesn't necessarily mean easy, especially in the new War Scenarios mode, where you'll be taking on up to 1,000 of the green meanies, and thanks to smart delivery, they'll look great on whatever Xbox console you're playing on.
One of the many massive games that will be arriving straight on Xbox Game Pass in the back half of 2021, Microsoft Flight Simulator for Series X and S will finally be boarding passengers on July 27th. With its photogrammetric recreations of iconic landmarks from around the world all rendered in luxurious 4K, Microsoft Flight Simulator is the perfect way to take a world tour without any of the inconveniences of going through customs. Although if you want to take off your shoes and decant your liquids into clear containers anyway, no one is stopping you. And the best thing is that Microsoft Flight Simulator's world just keeps getting richer, with the latest world update putting some finer touches on the Nordic nations. You can, of course, still play on PC as well, where we tested out the VR mode recently on our Twitch channel thanks to our super-powered Lenovo Legion desktops. And it's fair to say that Henry was absolutely blown away by it.
Oh. I love this game.
The Forgotten City began as a Skyrim mod before becoming so popular that it's now going to be released as its own game. I don't even have a joke about that. This is really cool. It now takes place in the final days of a cursed Roman city, leaving you free to wander its crumbling world to try and find out what went so horribly wrong. By questioning the game's cast of intriguing characters and exploiting the city's strange time loop, you might just be able to get some answers. And if not, you'll still get to run around ancient Rome bothering people. It's kind of a win-win.
The Ascent paints a troubling and all too believable vision of the future, where the whole planet is run by one giant corporation. And then it suddenly collapses. Perhaps because some other billionaire tweeted something silly, we can't know for sure, leaving the world in a state of violent disarray. Which is bad for lots of folk, but great for twin-stick shooter fans who now have the perfect excuse to zip around the dystopian ruins of society, battling for control of its remaining resources. Featuring tons of cybernetic upgrades and highly destructible environments to unleash them on. The Ascent will be dropping directly onto Game Pass at the end of the month. Plus, Series X players will be able to enjoy a real-life tech upgrade with the game supporting 4K and 60 FPS. So the future's not bad at all, I guess.
Okay, so it might sound like you're trying to say Elder Scrolls with a mouthful of marshmallows, but Eldest Souls is very much its own thing. A 16-bit boss rush game that might remind you a little of a certain other Soulsy series. It takes place in a world which has been left in ruins by the old gods, giving you the perfect excuse to go and kick some heavenly ass. You'll have a wide range of talents and abilities to help you expose each enemy's weaknesses. Although one of them appears to be a man made of snakes, so I don't really know what sort of ability would help with that. Good luck though.
They say that moving house can be one of the most stressful things you'll experience in life, but it also seems to make for a pretty great gaming experience based on titles like Moving Out and Get Packed. The fully loaded version of Get Packed will arrive at the end of the month and is even more stuffed full of locations for you and your friends to completely trash, including, for some reason, the moon. And the best part is that 5 minutes of this will convince all your friends never to ask you to help them move anything ever again. So those are all the tantalizing new Xbox games we've got to look forward to, but there's also a few sweet updates and expansions on the way for the ones we already know and love.
July kicks off with the first premium expansion for Watch Dogs Legion, and it looks like a doozy. Bloodlines brings back Aiden Pierce from the first game for a little family reunion, which, like most things in Watch Dogs universe, quickly descends into pure chaos.
Just when we were getting over our first bout of Plague Tales, Asobo Studio rocked up to E3 with a whole new sequel reveal. But whilst we all anxiously await the release of the ominously titled A Plague Tale Requiem, the first game will be getting a free next-gen upgrade that adds 4K 60 and 3D audio, so you really will feel like you're surrounded by disease-infested rats. Just what we've always wanted.
Finally, Fallout 76 will be adding another chapter to its grisly post-apocalyptic tale with Steel Reign. It brings the long-running Brotherhood of Steel saga to an end by forcing you to finally settle the battle between justice and duty that has divided them. Oh, and there's still a bunch of super mutants that you'll maybe want to do something about. Just when you get the chance though.
We might not know what July has in store when it comes to weather reports or score sheets, but it looks set to be another bright and shiny gaming month for the whole Xbox community. Let us know in the comments what you're most looking forward to, and remember to subscribe for all the latest updates. We'll see you next time.